All right, welcome back, everyone. We're going to start right off the bat with the lab because in the previous presentation I showed you, hey, the importance of IP addressing. No IP addressing, no networking. So what we're going to do is we're going to assign an IP address to the PC, the switch, and the router, right? So I'm going to sit down to do this though because, labs is getting old and my feet are hurting, okay? So let's go ahead and open up the PC. I'm going to put it here to one side. All right, you can see the network right there. We're in the 10110. Based on that mask, which is a 24, this is my network ID. So I go to the IP configuration. And what I like to do, I like to use the first available IP address for my end nodes. If I tab over though, you see how it puts a class default A mask. But we're not doing that. 255.255.255.0. We just subnet it, not even knowing it. So we're saying that we live in the 10.1.1 network, right? Because everything, all the bits are on in the first 3 octets. It's the last octet that we can go ahead and play with, and we can change the numbers from 1 to 254. All right, and my gateway, I always like to use the last available, 10.1.1.254. Okay, so I got that done. And the reason I'm using a gateway is because I eventually going to build on my infrastructure and I'm going to get out to the internet. I'm going to get out to another segment of the network. So I need to get to the router. So you need to put that gateway in. All right, you need to put that gateway in. No gateway, you ain't going nowhere. Okay, unless you're within your own segment. All right, so I'm going to leave the switch for last. I'm going to do a router now, which is pretty simple. I'm going to bring it over here. Let's open it up, right? Okay. Right there, right? You can see that right there. My big head's not in the way. I'm going to enable. I'm going to config T so I can get into global configuration. I can see the interface right there, which says F00. That's the interface. That is my gateway address, right? That I'm trying to get to. So interface F0/0. Enter. IP address 10.1.1.254. 255.255.255.0. Enter. And then I'm just going to do a no shut, right, to turn that on. And I'm going to do WR, which does a configuration. Now, in your certification exam for the CCNA, you are limited to the type of commands that you can do. So you can also type exit, because they don't let you do Control-Z or do WR, so you have to do your copy and run start. You can do that. You can do that. It said, hey, do you want to copy it to the startup config file? Well, yes, I do. So I just hit enter again. All right, that's all you do. Because whatever's in brackets, that's the default. So we got the gateway configured. We got our PC configured. Now, let's check for connectivity just right now without even any IP address on the switch. All right, so let's go back to the PC. Let's move it so you can see it. Let's go to the command prompt and let's ping our gateway, 192.168.1. Look at me. Look at me. 10.1.1.25. No, that's 28. 254. Okay. Whoa. 254. Okay. So you see we have 4 replies, or we're going to get 4 replies. That means we have connectivity without the switch having an IP address, because your switch does not need an IP address in order for it to work. All right. But we want to give the switch an IP address because this is a management switch. You'll learn more about switching when we get to the actual switching part of the course. But I'm just going to show you this little basic stuff right now. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the switch. Put it over here. Okay. Put it right there. All right. So I'm going to hit enable, conf T. Now, when you put an IP address, you're going to put an IP address within the VLAN. All right, so we're all in VLAN 1 by default. So we go int VLAN 1. That's an interface. So we go IP address 10.1.1.253, 255.255.255.0. Remember, our gate was 254. Now, what you also need to realize, if we want to reach this switch remotely, we need a default gateway also to be configured. So we can do IP default, and I'm going to go ahead and hit tab. So it puts it in there for me. You can't do it in the test, I don't think. IP default gateway, and then I'm going to, oops, no, it's 192.1, no, why? I've got that number stuck in my head. 10.1.1.254. Okay, done. So what does that mean? So now I got an IP address on my switch, which I should be able to ping. All right, I'm going to say it that way because sometimes the packet tracer does get funky. Okay, up arrow, one less, 253. Okay, I should be able to ping my switch. Did I turn the VLAN on? No, I did not. But let's wait for that first timeout. And we're going to get a second timeout here real quick. Yes, we are. So let's go back into int VLAN1, int VLAN1. And I'm going to do a no shut. All right, turn that on. Now it's up. Awesome. Go back to the PC. All right, let's try this again. And we should be able to ping it. Should, operative word. Okay, and there's our little reply right there. All right, now we know that this was because of the ARP. Okay, but that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Assigning an IP address to these inter-networking devices right here, and putting a default gateway in your switch and an IP address on your actual PC with the correct subnet mask and with a gateway if needed. The gateway is only needed if you're going outside your own subnet, meaning you need to get to the router. Okay. All right. So with that said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here because I want to show you this. Okay. All right. The subnet mask is the key to it all. It's the key to it all. It's going to tell you what your network ID is going to be. It's going to tell you what your range is going to be of usable addresses. It's going to tell you what your broadcast is going to be. So you need to learn how to go from, if they give you a CIDR 12, that, hey, that means 255.240.00. Because you got 8 bits on the first, 4 bits on the second. Okay? If it's a CIDR 20, 255, that's 8, 16, right? 8 is 16 plus 4 more. That's 20, so that's 240. All right, and then 28, 255, 255, 255, 240, 30, which is a common one that we use between point-to-point links. All right, it's a 252 at the end because there's 6 bits on, and 32, which is all bits are on, which is used. Normally, I use those. You'll see me use those for loop-back addresses, which are virtual, or for loop-back interfaces, which are virtual interfaces for testing purposes. These is like the host subnet mask, okay? But you need to learn that conversion, and I'll give you certain tables, handouts and stuff. They'll show you how to do that. But again, if you purchase my book, all that will be, and again, it's on Amazon. You will be able to download that. Purchase that, and that will be in there. But I'll give handouts as well, so you don't get lost. All right. So that's it. That wasn't so difficult, was it? Assigning an IP address. But again, you need to put the right subnet mask in order for you or your host internet networking devices be in the same network. Unless obviously you're routing to somewhere else. I'll see you in the next.